Hey, I guess we're live. Bang.
We're live. Hello, everybody.
Yep. So for the thumbnail, I had the before picture, me working hard, and this is the after picture. So
working way too hard.
Yeah, working way too hard. After picture, before and after. Thought I'd do that. That's a picture from like 3 years ago of my cats, Thor and Loki. I thought it was a pretty good picture of them, and me being busy reading papers. That was back when I read, for some reason, I switched over to just reading electronic stuff entirely. Like books, everything, all electronic now. And I used to have paper copies. So I went through ream after ream of paper printing out. Like I got stacks of papers printed out that are about, I'm guessing 15 feet high, if you were to stack them all up. And I used to love to read them. But then the nice thing about the papers, you could take them into the bathtub with you, as long as you didn't drop them in the bathtub. That was pretty cool. So anyway, so Jay Bundy was screaming at all us atheists again for some reason, I guess.
I love Jay and everything, but he's a little hard to read sometimes. I just don't know.
He is. He had a really good point about rationality rules in that his analysis that, the Democrats didn't pay attention to the economy or whatever. Fucking Harris mentioned a plan to stop price gouging. And the other thing is the reason we have inflation is because when Trump was still president, they passed some bills to shore up our economy. And they dumped $1 trillion into the fucking economy. And I know that because I was getting checks from them. I was on unemployment. And you can't dump that kind of money into the economy without that combined with supply chain problems. And then the corporations, when all that shit went away, the corporations kept the prices high. And so Costco has record profits and they all have record profits. And the Republicans are never going to do anything about that. They are never going to fight. In fact, they're going to make it worse. And Musk even admitted that it's going to hurt more. That when the tariff shit happens, inflation is going to skyrocket. You're looking at 20%, not 5% or 7%. It's like, Jesus Christ. But the people that voted for Trump, I'm guessing 80% of them are fucking hopeless. You could throw facts at them all day long. They're just going to fucking bounce off them or drip off their foreheads. They'll melt and drip off their foreheads because the real thing that's driving them is some sort of emotional bullshit. Afraid of immigrants or afraid of a woman being president or whatever in the hell. And, and it's like, fuck those people. I have just become bitter and disappointed. I don't know about bitter, but disappointed with the human race, with the American, the average American. I am fucking done with them. I mean, this country could go get fucked.
I've been telling people for decades, that it's like 42% of the population thinks man lived with dinosaurs. I mean, there's a problem out there, and everybody's just, well, ha ha ha, isn't that funny? And it's like, but I think we're seeing the results of.
You're seeing the results.
People will believe just all kinds of things, and I mentioned it before in a video that I think the internet is great. But I also think that it overwhelms people, the 24/7, the social media, the news feeds popping up, the alerts going off, your friends messaging you things, in the middle of the night or, whenever. it seems to be that
guys.
yeah, there seems to be like a revolt against too much everything, right? I mean, you mentioned a black woman running. I think it's great, but you know, sadly our country is dragged kicking and screaming along with a lot of things, including the climate and everything else. And I think expectations were a little high and hopes were high, and they were dashed, and a lot of people are feeling it. Yeah, but we have to deal. Yeah, there has to be a reality with the population and how to deal with it. And if these one-liners are the way to get people, then you know the other side has to fight fire with fire, right?
Yep.
You can't sit back and say, well, look, you know, we've got an economic plan and that people that don't want to hear it, that just want to hear, a little talking point that they can repeat to everybody, like, oh, did you hear her laugh? Oh, yeah. Did you hear her laugh? Yeah. And, that's what's going around. Nobody cared, to talk about policy or anything. So if nobody cares to talk about policy, it's, yeah, like you said, they're not listening. And Jay said it too. They're not listening. And well, there's a problem with the not listening, that there seems to be a big communication problem. So I don't understand if, to build a wall amongst ourselves is also the solution. Like you say, I can understand and I feel for people, and I know I'm going to hear I'm just, a white guy that doesn't know any of these things, and I'm sorry. Okay. That I can't control that. Okay. Just like nobody else can control that they're a minority or gay or anything else. And I'm a white guy. All right. But, I don't actively, not like people or anything, or want to cause anybody any problems. I've always said that, I don't want to be in anybody's business any more than anybody wants to be in my business. But there's a reality we live in. Like I said, almost half the population believes in creationism. We have to reach these people somehow.
Yeah, Sandy, I don't know if they had a choice. It's kind of like there's this Washington pecking order. Basically, it goes to the vice president or whatever. And it would have been refreshing to have a woman in charge for me. But yeah, apparently the country wasn't ready for it. And I think a good 30% of the influence was because she was a woman, and maybe 10% because she was black.
The country may not have been ready for it, but
yeah, they should have been.
When people start getting hurt because of goddamn Trump.
Yeah.
So you may not have been ready, but you better learn to swallow the responsibility that people need to inevitably point your way. If once Trump and his assholes start hurting people.
Yep. Hey, Trusty Ape and Yahooligan. Did you see my after picture of working hard? That's what I looked like afterwards. So anyway, so we were.
You did have COVID for a while.
What's that?
You did have COVID for a little while, so.
I did, so, yeah. That really contributed too.
Not really that unreasonable a photo.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we definitely blew it with Biden. I mean, Jesus Christ, that should have never happened. He should have stepped down a lot earlier. But
well, they're talking about running somebody like Jon Stewart, and it's like, well, if that's what it takes, somebody that's gonna,
that would do
get out there, and like I said, I understand the point where a lot of people are upset and just want to say, well, screw everybody, and but there has to be a come together at some time. I mean, to go on like this is not good for anybody.
And if the Democrats hadn't been such idiots with Al Franken, when Trump came into office, Al Franken just fucking stood up to him and started smashing him. And then they show a stupid picture of Al Franken making a joke on a plane on Saturday, coming back from a Saturday Night Live tour. And because of that picture dug up from his past, they pressured him to resign. And he says today that he shouldn't have resigned. If he hadn't resigned, he would have been a candidate for president. And Tim Walz, vice president. That would have been a hell of a combination, because he would have appealed to the everyman, Al Franken. And he is smarter than hell, and he's got guts, and he's not your typical politician. He's a comedian turned politician. But
that's
the
Democrats
the thing. Don't seem to. They don't sit down and think, let's run the best fucking person to get the most votes. It's like they don't even get it. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? I don't know. But anyway,
well, they have to have people in the field the same as everybody else, and there should have been these things came up, and
right.
I think there was so many problems. Yeah. From, just, yeah. Well, we'll just throw Joe out there, and, Joe, give it to him for, giving it his all and everything. But, yeah, it's just been like that, and before that it was like, well, let's just run Hillary. Right. It just seems like they've gotten just lazy, just, you still have to reach the people, I mean, you just can't count on people to just, oh, well, obviously they're not going to vote for Trump. Well, that was what people thought, obviously, the last time when he won, right? So these taking things for granted just seems to be a big problem. They don't have, I don't know, again, there's a lack of communication within the party. It seems that they weren't listening to people, and I don't know.
But I think what the point that Bundy was trying to make, and I think he's correct, is that even if we had run the right person and won, like Al Franken, right, white guy, male, the assholes out there would still be assholes. They're still fucking assholes. And for some reason, our culture has, and I think it's Christianity that is doing this. It's this bullshit that we believed in for so long, and it's so goddamn unrealistic and unnatural. And it should have been buried in the dark ages, and it wasn't. For some reason, it's persisted because I don't know, what is wrong with us? We like cults. We like being members of cults. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with us?
Well, we're quick to point fingers at people, but then we're also quick to also not point fingers at your own group. And religions excel at it, right? I mean, they're pointing fingers at everybody all the time. But when their own does something, they in some cases they want them. Well, we forgive them, so they shouldn't face consequences or jail or anything else either. And I think that was the thing with Al Franken, that they were like, with other things that were going on, they were like zero tolerance. It was just zero tolerance. So he had to go. But
and he was so powerful. I mean, I don't know if you how much. Well, I guess some of it made national news, but he took Trump on very early, and he was just going to town after him. And they fucking
so did a lot of Republicans.
yeah.
Anyway. What you say and what you do seems to be two different things. When, Lindsey Graham what did he say? That he was flat out insane or something? And then, oh, wait a minute. Now I've got to flip 180. And
yeah. So apparently Kevin made a photo with the picture of Al Franken on the plane, the boob picture, I mean, it was just like, Christ, I don't know. What the fuck? What the fuck? James says cults make us special. James, I sent you a link. I give you a link. Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe on Answers in Atheism too. You guys should be running both streams at the same time. Anyway,
should be on both. And hello to everybody out there, and thanks, BS. That's right. I'm getting closer and closer there on my sub count. I appreciate every one of them. So I want to get some. I want to get some emojis. So got to get that sub count up.
After like 5 years of this, I'm up to 720. You know, it's like, man, just knocking them dead.
Yeah, you've gone up over 100 recently here.
It's because of going after fucking Christians. And
well, when was it we were doing the 666 push? That wasn't too long ago. So
that wasn't too long ago. No.
Yeah, you've gotten a good bump recently.
Yeah, it went from like I was hovering at 608 for about a year, and then all of a sudden it popped up to 720. But now it's leveled off again, and I'm I'll probably die here. I'd like to make 1,000 before I die, guys. So get your kids to subscribe. Your dog, get him an account. Scott, you got how many dogs? How many dogs you got? You got cows.
Dogs and
how many cows? How many cows, kittens, and donkeys? And how many kittens? How many kittens?
Well, we gave away the one kitten we have. The other cats are grown, and we got 4 of those.
You gave that one away that you rescued?
I didn't rescue it. My son and his wife did, and they just found somebody to take it.
Okay,
and
cool.
So,
every kitty you rescue, basically kills one vein in Trump's heart. So
there you go.
Think about that. He's got about 100,000 of them. So you got to rescue a lot of kitties to make this better. But every kitty you rescue is going to make the world a better place.
Hey, I have an idea about getting the number of subscribers up.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night, when you wake up to research or study metaphysics of some kind, instead, plan some content, and then go take a nap, and then get on YouTube and produce the content.
Or I could just get on YouTube right away and just blurt out the content as it's rolling off. My mind in the morning is on fire. I mean, it's
there you go. You can do a soliloquy. Isn't that what that's called? Or a monologue?
Monologue, yeah.
Whatever you come up with about neurobiology or metaphysics, do it all in iambic pentameter, like Shakespeare, and that way you'll be producing some real content.
Cool. I don't know how to do that, but I could try.
That's the key to successful YouTubing.
Really? I didn't know this.
Yeah. I either had a dream about it or I just made it up.
The cult of Captive Desk. Subscribe to the Cult of Captive Desk.
There you go.
Yeah, we get to 500 subs, and I've already got ideas. Somebody said if I get memberships going, they could be the captive desk drawers. It's like, I like that.
Yeah, cool. Good content would be.
You can start naming your days of the week for shows like Saturday could. Well, of course you have Snad on Saturday now, but you could do the Sunday sock drawer. You could do the Monday, good utensils drawer. Just so many things, so many possibilities using drawers for memberships.
Yep. I'm doing. I've got views, and I appreciate it. Lots of people watch my stuff and everything. So it's growing, doing good. Saturday nights have been doing good. We had like 140 people stop through, I think, last week.
Oh no! It froze.
Next month, the goal should be to feed everybody who comes through. Just have them, just a little hors d'oeuvre or something.
Some AI orders.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody was doing? Godless Granny gives people cookies, virtual cookies.
Oh, there's some stuff.
The mind at work.
More stuff. Some more stuff.
Should I say the brain? Should I not say mind?
The brain at work. Yeah.
Is mind a bad word? Oh yeah, cabinet members. Yeah, I like that too, Top Dog.
Yeah, it's all the shit that happens early in the morning. Things in my mind. Concepts, red things, model in the middle. Wow, this goes way back. Shit. Yeah, turning this into real content, kind of difficult. It takes a little doing, but.
Oh, you want it easy? I'm sorry. I misread the room.
Easy. I want somebody I want a team of staffers working for me, turning my all this crazy mind stuff that I do into reality, right? Just
have somebody send you an email every morning, say read this, and then you'll get a 1,000 subscribers before you know it.
Yep.
Put it in Chat GPT.
Oh, I got a lot of blank pages. Donald Davidson events. Quine. Anyway, the thing is, I have this compulsion to get online early in the morning and do a monologue, but I'm embarrassed to be by myself because there will be horrible pauses. There will be fuck ups. There will be, my fucking microphone's not working or whatever. I mean, it just kind of embarrasses me. And I know, where James Apperson, that son of a bitch. God, I hate that guy. He gets on.
Get up in the morning and record yourself and then premiere it. You'll have a little chance to edit, just brief edits.
Yeah, I did that. I actually did one of those.
Yeah.
And it was, and you said you couldn't read my chicken scratch. So,
well,
reverse who's the room? Where was it?
It takes a lot of pressure off when you record stuff, because when I'm recording something and I'm going along and it would get tongue tied, and then you can just go, okay, start from, all right. And then you start over in your sentence, and then you just cut that part out, and it's like magic.
Just for the record, Mike asked me what I thought, and then I told him I couldn't read the thing. So
check my drawers.
I wasn't picking apart his attempt to monologue on a Monday morning or something.
I come to him, I come to him bare and innocent, and I asked him for approval, and the first thing he told me is, "Oh fuck, I can't read it." It's like, okay, so you just shot me down, just like I was looking for one little thread of just encouragement, so that I could do things online.
Well, if you're going to write it, people should be able to read it.
You don't.
No. If they can't read your writing, that's fine. But if you're going to show it and they can't read it, well, that's another thing. So.
I know. Well, fuck you. Can you read this? Life does not cause life. Strictly biochemistry does. Oh. Yeah.
I think you would have to maybe make that full screen.
These are the notes I did on when we were doing Saturday Night Live.
Saturday Night at the
Atheist. Yeah, Saturday Night at the Atheist. Yeah. So basically, I was correcting these crazy creationists when they come up and say, "Life creates life." It's like, well, not really. Life creates itself, kind of, with raw materials around.
Yeah, it's kind of
the idea that your mom didn't screw your arms and legs in, right? She laid an egg, a zygote, and then you created yourself. Basically, life creates itself.
Well, somebody asked me earlier in one of the comments, probably on a Ken Ham video, and started asking me a bunch of questions. I was like, look, when I get the answers from the researchers, I'll get back with you. throwing, well, they don't know this and they don't know that at me. And it's like, okay, fine. They don't know that. I just don't, I don't know what you want me to say. Okay. They don't know that. And they don't know a lot of things. So.
Yeah. Like I was reading about the origins of multicellularity for the last 2 days and how the first multi-celled animals got started. And it is really interesting. And I found like 60 books on the subject. They have like five or six different hypotheses, and they're never going to figure out exactly which one actually happened. They kind of, but anyway, they're right now they're looking at sponges and placoderms, and they're looking at real simple animals that have not changed all that much, after they split off from us, and they can basically make a hypothesis about basically how something happened. They can figure it out from looking at these other animals, and then the genomes allow us to tell what's related to what. And right now, it is very, very difficult to do that because we have sequenced something like 0.002% of all animals out there. And when we sequence all of them, well, we've only identified 10% of the animals on the Earth. And when we identify and sequence all of them, we'll be able to run this into a supercomputer, and it's going to come up with a phylogeny that is not going to change much. It's going to be the facts. And the fact that we can do that tells you that creationism is bullshit, that we evolved. Because, right now, even with the, I think we've got, I don't know, like 80,000 genomes sequenced or something like that. We still have been able to tell a hell of a lot just by what is in the genomes. And when they say, were you there? Did you observe, this happening? You don't fucking have to, because the evidence is still there in the genomes. Unfortunately, it costs a lot of money. Well, it's getting cheaper, and we're getting better, and we're sequencing more and more every day. So,
and one of the ideas was that something swallowed something else, and so
that was
back to all your different things going on. Yeah, you could have had all those different things going on. And some of them, could have swallowed each other, and that led to something. That's a fascinating idea too.
Yeah, that didn't just happen once. That happened with plants. It happened twice with plants, and it happened a number of other times with other organisms that ended up basically one engulfs another and ends up reproducing and creating a different kind of life. So that is really well evidenced. So anyway, you can tell it. James.
Hello there.
James.
Hey, James.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're good. You sound good.
So,
turn you up a little bit.
So yeah, you mentioned me. When I stream, I don't think that's what you said my name on the Angelo and I gotta show up, right?
Yeah. I fucking hate you, James. Your voice and your basically your ability to just monologue is uncanny.
Well,
you know that, right?
I don't get a lot of compliments, so I save them like candy for my candy dish. Appreciate
but this compliment comes on the heels of I hate you. So
right. I'll take it. I've said before that every compliment has an insult in it somewhere if you look for it. And every insult has a compliment in there somewhere if you look for it, but those are harder to find.
Harder to find, yes.
Compliments are just the decorated hilt of the knife used to stab you with.
There you go. That's exactly it.
Yeah, what does a Texas bee sound like, Bree? Hi, Bree.
Ooh, y'all.
Hi, Bree.
Hey there, Bree.
Busy, y'all.
Ooh, y'all.
I know Bree's been posting. She's out the pool in her bathing suit and everything, having a good old time while we're cold up here. So
in November, yeah, lovely.
All right, sounds like a photo shoot. I'm waiting for my calendar in the mail.
Purple Rhymes with Orange is on Dave's channel, and Top Dog's on Dave's channel. And who else? Who else we got? We got Brie on my channel. Loyal followers.
Oh yeah. We've got Sandy's here and Yahooligan.
Yeah.
Hey Justin, how you doing?
And Sydney Raptor.
Here we
Good day,
go.
Sydney.
Beehaw.
Yeehaw.
Beehaw.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So
we're just. I was listening to Bundy's stream earlier, and he was like raging at people, and I kind of agree with him on a lot of what he was saying, but he was kind of targeting all white people. I think all white atheists. And it's like, yeah, it's come on, dude. Back it down a little bit. We're not all on rationality rules side. He's not even in this country. So what the fuck does he know about our economy? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of the things he was saying too. I just, like I said though, I think there is that progress is good, but it may have been too much.
There'll be a tuxedo.
Yes, you can blame.
My...
You could blame the white guys that went out there and voted for Trump. But yeah, I mean, he's got a point, but it wasn't me.
A tuxedo kitty will pop up as soon as they're done napping. They're napping right now. They're giving me a much needed break from the three of them with their constant neediness. Feed me tuna. I want tuna. Fucking cats. Anyway.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how to think about the world anymore after the Black Tuesday. I don't know how to think about the world anymore. I am so disappointed in the world, or in the United States. And the answer, I don't want to do civil war. I mean, I'm just not interested in that. That's too much work. That would require a great deal of loading and cleaning weapons. I don't want to do that. And so is despair my only option? Or disappointment and disgust for my country. I don't like it anymore. I don't believe that many people, that it's tipped over the 50% line of people that could vote for a guy who I listen to. And to me, if he came to my door, I would turn him away. I would never have dinner with that man because of how he comes off, right? Just his whole thing. And they look at this man and they think they want him to lead their country. And I don't get it. There's a disconnect that I cannot get over. I mean,
he's more like a shock jock. Yeah, he's more like a shock jock than a candidate. Yeah, he should be, on opposite Howard Stern or something, throwing his
and all the shit he did
stuff out.
And it's like, I just can't fucking understand it. I got Republican friends that I keep telling them, I think in my heart, I'm a Republican. I like the idea of small government, and I like the idea of basically really adhering to the Constitution religiously, very strictly. And I think that was what the Republican Party is. And I tell them, you could have run how many other people are in the country? About 330 million of them that you could have fucking run instead of this douchebag. And they're just like, oh no, you'll see, he's the one man who's going to lead us to glory somehow. And it's like, okay, I don't fucking understand people anymore. I'm disappointed, so badly disappointed.
Yeah.
Except for Reverend Ed. Except for Reverend Ed, yeah. Reverend Ed's giving him heck. So.
When I was 17, 18 years old, I just got married at 17. We were right in the middle of the the summer of love, hippies. And we came out and we grew our hair long and we put fucking ragged jean jackets on and cowboy boots and we went out and did a lot of acid, and we fucking completely turned over the hierarchy of our parents, right? We just said no. We're going to do something different. And that was like, it was just like it was like a storm. We all felt it. Like, okay, love, peace, caring about people, all that fucking shit. And it came out and it just like, it hit the wall somewhere and then washed back on us. And all of these goddamn boomers, of which I'm a boomer, all these baby boomers ended up with this got milk generation. And then the next thing they did is they all became conservative fucking racist assholes. Like a lot of my peers, a lot of the people that I partied with are racists. And it's like, what the fuck happened to the summer of love, guys? I mean, there was so much hope back then. And for a while during Harris's campaign, I had that same feeling of hope. And it would have done my heart good to see it turn out better. But it didn't turn out that way, so I don't know what to do now. What should I do? What should I do? I don't know. Fuck it all? I need a bottle of fuck it all. That's
well, again, the social media thing, people I grew up with, you see some of the things from folks you went to school with and stuff that they post, and it's like, really? Weren't we watching MTV together? Everything was fine. And
yeah.
Then you hear comments about, oh, somebody's having a parade. And it's like, oh, no, not a parade. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't want to think the worst of people. So why are these things, infesting in people's ears and nesting, as Eminem would say? That's the question.
I go to the grocery store and I always like everybody I see, and I always, look at them and want to treat them with respect until Black Tuesday. And now I go to the grocery store and I look at them and I think, are you one of those fuckers? I mean, I have totally changed my heart about how I see other people in this country right now. And some of them you can tell that they're one of those fuckers. I mean, they have
my son works in retail. He told my wife, get in and out early. You don't want to deal with them people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm one of those assholes that voted for Reagan, and I was like a conservative asshole Republican in the 90s.
Well,
because I was, paying
speaking
a lot of
Black Fridays, yeah, we've seen how people act over a silly sale, right?
Yeah.
It's nothing new. There's been this stupid running around. It's just, and the joke is coming true. Don't ask me how stupid can you be, because you're starting to take it as a challenge.
Yeah.
Crazy. I don't know. So Saturday night at the Atheist, we were throwing around the idea of having different topics. I think, James, you wanted to lay off the religion for a while, and
I mean, once in a while it would be nice, right? Just talk about
life.
It
would be, life.
Yeah, and I've heard before, after James said something, that there's been people that say, "Oh, all you atheists do is talk about religion." It's like I like talking about a lot of other things. So
yeah,
and there's a lot of other topics out there that I like to bring in, and if anybody's got something, you're always welcome to suggest something.
Yeah,
meaning in life
goes for everybody out in the chats too. If there's something you think we should be talking about, anything interesting. It doesn't have to be, religion related, because, like James says, nice to step away, and there's lots of other things to talk about. And I keep thinking of imagine, right? Imagine no religion. So we can just imagine there's no religion for the night.
Yeah, that would mean that we started paying attention to science. Yeah. and believing it instead of trying to make shit up like that woman on the channel in Minnesota that basically was, she looks at the rocks in Wisconsin and she was talking, oh my God, listening to her talk about all this geological formation happened in Wisconsin. Like, okay, the fountains of the deep ripped open and all this water flew out, and then it basically washed over and it slowly crept up into Michigan, and it laid down all this sandstone, and then the sandstone hardened, and then volcanoes came up and cracked through the hardened sandstone and then tilted it on its side, and all this shit. Like, wait a minute, okay, the fountains of the deep ruptured, and then the flood came, and then the fountains of the deep ruptured again and tilted it on its side. I don't fucking understand how she actually,
all the salt
teaches
layers.
Geology at a seminary.
Yeah.
It's for God's sake.
And they dig under the Great Lakes for salt. There's salt deposits under the Great Lakes.
Yeah, that the flood just, basically all salt water from the sea deposited in this one spot, and then it washed away, and then dinosaurs were running from the flood waters, and you could see their tracks running across the fucking sandstone. It's just like, what makes a person look at something like, okay, they actually talk about it. They say, oh, we're looking at the same evidence. Yeah, we're looking at the same fucking evidence. And you're coming up with an idea that is so wrong that you ought to slap yourself. You ought to wake up and just look in the mirror, start slapping yourself, put cold water on your head and say, what the fuck was I thinking? It's just like, we're looking at the same evidence, and 99% of geologists basically conclude that the earth is, 4 billion years old. And then these fuckers, they're looking at the same evidence, but they know the truth. The fountains of the deep broke open the fucking whatever. Just, oh my God.
Well, it's this mentality, right? That us versus them thing. With all these different issues, all the different social issues, the climate issues, the medical issues, it's all this pushback against everything. Usually by about the same 25% of the population.
It's like
it's all good when it's a football team or something, right? But they're doing it about real life decisions where I'm going to root for my team no matter what, right? And that's all fine. I was at the dentist earlier, and the Lions came up, and I said, yeah, I kind of rooting for the Lions myself. They've had so many rough years, and it's kind of good to have them, see them having a good year, right? So that's just a game, though. This has become, well, we're just going to turn it into a game about turning the military on our own citizens. Well, this is not a game. This is not a game,
right?
I don't get the sticking with your team no matter what is good in some situations, but with the election though, the vote was down. Fewer people did turn out on both sides.
Yeah, that's it. And I don't understand either, because it was really fucking important. I don't know, but it's
there was so many there's so many other things that go into it that it has to be blamed on the party and their people on the ground, and the ones that make all these decisions on what people are talking about, what they want to hear, and everything. Because that's ultimately, like I said, people want these buzzwords in their heads, and I don't think they were there.
And it just blows me away that the climate change, just bullshit. They're just picking on big oil, and then we get attacked by a virus, and all of a sudden they switch over, and all of a sudden it's big pharma. Big pharma's making money on us by selling vaccines. I mean, okay, the Republican Party is all for deregulating big business, letting big business go wild, but then all of a sudden They're all on this one side yelling about big pharma. Now, how did big pharma fucking suddenly take over their minds? I don't understand. It's just because what the fuck was it that made them freak the hell out? Because they had to wear a mask, because there were vaccines, because people were dying. I don't get why that happened.
It doesn't seem to matter what it is. They just want to.
I know.
Pick the other side. Yeah.
It's like whatever the cult mentality tells them, the leaders, like the Fox News leaders and the cult mentality, they just go with it. And I guess if it pisses off liberals, it makes them happy, right? Anything that pisses off somebody who's liberal makes them happy. It's just like, I don't know. It's just weird. Weird. Yeah, they're weird. Governor of Minnesota called them weird. I think he was right. We got him back now anyway, so we got Tim back. But now I think our they had the trifecta where they had Democrats were in control for the last, I don't know, 4 to 6 years. And I think we might lose it this time. Minnesota only narrowly voted for Harris, 4%. And that's why when I go to the grocery store now, I slam my card into people because I don't like them anymore. Fuck them. Not gonna fucking hold the door open for you, you asshole. I'm gonna slam it in your face because you might have voted for the wrong party. Am I bitter? I don't feel bitter.
It's there's that's my thing. There's so many things going on that have been ignored, and the Democrats as well. They hold their nose on a lot of these things, talking about the prices in the stores, right? Whatever happened to breaking up monopolies? You know, there's only a couple companies that supply everything on the store shelves. What happened to breaking stuff up, right? They broke up, remember they break up the phone companies, the gas companies. I got people coming to my door all the time because they broke up the gas companies. There's these couple big corporations that deliver everything to the stores other than some of the stuff that they get local. Why isn't that broke up? Obviously, you can't do anything about the prices when there's only a couple of them, and they are, obviously they, what's good for each other, there's no competition, and that's basic economics, right? You get some competition, you bring prices down. Well, there ain't no competition.
Yeah.
They've slowly bought up, all the other companies, and now you look, you think, oh, well, I'm buying, the brand I've always bought, yeah, but that company doesn't exist anymore. They've been absorbed by, whoever it is, General Foods or whatever the big ones are, right? So,
Bree threw down the gauntlet here with Happy International Men's Day panel. So I tried to put the thing out in chat, but it hasn't gone through yet for some reason. What the fuck? What is wrong?
Is that with a link?
Yeah, the link. I put it out in chat. Let me put another. Okay, there it is. Finally. I don't know what the hell happened. I put the link out there.
It's there. It's in the chat.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, for some reason I'm not seeing all my chat. Oh, pin message. Okay. Yeah, I threw the link out there so we can get some. I would like some women to come in.
Ultimately, we have to talk about education too, because there's a big education problem in this country, and it seems to be reflected in a lot of what we were talking about. People are against things like, scientific facts, basically. I mean, you're going to argue with a thermometer. We're getting to a point of no return, right?
That's what they say.
Yep.
Yeah, in more ways than one, right? But I just covered AIG putting their thing out, basically saying 180 degrees off of the stuff that they're citing themselves, And I went and I looked up the papers that they were citing, and it doesn't say what they say they're saying. And that's how bold they are, that they will give you a citation counting on the fact that you're never going to go and look at it.
Are you talking about creation scientists, or are you just talking about conservatives in general?
Well, they all do it, but yeah, AIG, yeah. She was giving sources. Yeah, she was giving sources. Here's the source. You go to the NOAA. Here's the paper. And it's like, okay, good. Thank you very much. And I looked it up, and it doesn't say what they're saying. They're lying about what it says. Oh no, there's no extreme weather events. There's none of this. The sea ice is just fine. The polar bears are just fine. Right on down the list. And every source I looked up did not say what they said. So it's this thing where you can just say whatever, and you can give a citation even, and nobody cares. It's
you got to be willing to read and do the research. Yeah,
you think, with like I said, you can ask the box sitting on your shelf if you need to answer a question, and there's a refusal to do it. There's a refusal. You don't even have to use your keyboard anymore. You can just talk to the little cube on your shelf, and it'll give you answers. And nope, not going to do that. Not going to do that.
I did something interesting with ChatGPT. I started asking it for numbers. Basically, if you took everybody who is worth over $1 billion in the United States and redistributed their wealth, every household would get $750,000. If you took everybody that had over $1 million in net worth and redistributed it, you would have $1 million for every household. Every single household would get $1 million. So that's how much of the money is at the top. And billionaires just keep multiplying. I mean, it just keeps going. And it's like, and I'm not for that kind of wealth redistribution, but I used to be very much against taxing rich people back when I was paying $50,000 a year in income taxes. And so I was like adamant about, fucking flat tax and all that bullshit. But you know what? We got to start taxing the way we used to tax very, very rich people, because they're just getting richer. I mean, if you already got $1 billion and you're making $100 million a year on that, you could afford to pay $90 million in taxes and take $10 million home. I think you can live on that.
And I don't want to use the term all-encompassing area, but he said he had to take some meds and lay down for a minute. He wasn't feeling.
Oh shit.
Hopefully anyway, he'll be all right there, James. Hopefully it's just a sugar spike.
So this is so Trump picked Matt Gaetz for Attorney General, and this was the runner-up, the Wuhan bat. But Matt Gaetz beat out the Wuhan bat. He was the second one. Or no, I think they were going to have the Wuhan bat for the RFK's job in charge of health. I can't remember which way it was. Why not?
Yeah, he's surrounding himself, by the way, with people that are anti the poke in your arm. They are anti-climate change. They've vowed to kill every green initiative that's out there, including, I guess they're talking about killing the, what do you call it, rebate or whatever you get if you buy an electric car, right?
Yeah.
They want to cut all that out.
Yeah, shit. My son has a Tesla, and that is the nicest goddamn car I've ever driven. Holy shit. I mean, it's really electric cars are really cool.
Well, the anti-electric car people love Elon. So how do you make sense out of that? How do you make sense out of that?
Yeah. Well, Elon kind of stole that company. He didn't.
Right.
He didn't innovate shit.
He's never done anything. And his SpaceX is ripping us off. His whole thing was that we shouldn't be paying the Russians to take us to space. I can do it, and I can do it cheaper. And then he ends up getting the contracts, and he's charging us more than the Russians did.
Yeah.
It's a big scam.
Yeah.
And again, what happened to the conservative party? Where are the conservatives saying, wait a minute, now I'm all for being, all American and having American rockets, but, I'm looking at the spreadsheet, right? And why are we paying Elon more, right? Nobody seems to care. So I've heard from some conservatives who have agreed with, yes, they have strayed way off of any conservative values as far as being cheap or penny pinchers or anything, because, Bush and everybody else blew up the budget. Trump, $3 trillion, I think he put on it or some outrageous number.
Yep, it was a lot. Well, it was, partially because of those payouts they did to shore up the economy.
And I tell people the climate is not going to get better. So every day that we do not do something, it's only going to cost more. So I don't want to hear a conservative argument about the cost now. Tomorrow it's going to cost more, and it's going to cost more the next day. That's the fact. So
and there's a point where it's going to start costing lives and property in Florida. And like Florida could well disappear in 50, 100 years. I mean, if there's a runaway effect with the climate, I mean, if we fucked with it enough to get a runaway effect. And anybody that doubts climate change, we've changed the percentage of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We've raised it by 30%. We've raised it. And that's within like 100 years. I mean, if it raised 30% within 50,000 years, everything would kind of adapt and roll on. But raising it that much in that short of time is fucking crazy. I mean, what if we increase the ocean level by 30% in 100 years? What would that do? It's just like, what if we reduce the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere by 30%? What would that do?
Well, they joke about sea level rise. Even Trump did, saying, "Oh, you'll just have more beachfront property." It's like they're not realizing the exponential effect. It's everything is growing exponentially, and that's one of the things that some of the models didn't have going back to the 70s was the exponential effect. So things are actually, for everybody saying, "Oh, they were giving us all this doom and gloom," it's actually worse than they predicted. So, once again, is it going to take, Trump's golf course being underwater for them to do something, right? Is that what it's going to take,
That'll happen soon.
And we aren't safe from hurricanes anymore. That last one came how far inland?
Yeah.
You're talking about bigger storms like that now that are coming inland. So it's not just, the coastal areas. Those things are going to start coming inland like that. Yeah. And the cost too, through the roof. Extreme weather events costs are billions and billions and billions more every year. It's not getting cheaper. So I don't want to hear anything from the conservative side about not doing anything because of the cost. And it's ridiculous. I mean, come on. I mean, who can be against having clean energy? It just seems, again, it's like, what you're arguing. Have you stood behind a car, and gotten a whiff, right? I mean,
yeah.
Don't you not want to have that? What is the argument exactly? I want a gas car. Why? Why? Why, right? Oh, I just want a gas car. That's not an argument.
Yeah. It has gotten better with the mufflers and stuff, the catalytic converters and stuff. I remember being in traffic in Minneapolis, and there was like this haze hanging over the air, and you could smell it, and it was just like,
yeah,
this can't be good to breathe.
Well,
Then I'd
that's
light
what
a
it took.
cigarette.
Yeah, where was it? LA or something? You couldn't see across the street, and then they said,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
I guess we need to do something." And that's again what I'm worried about, is that it has to reach that point before we'll do something.
Yeah, and since catalytic converters and regulation on smog, cancer rates have gone down in the United States.
And the air
Except
cleared
for
up.
prostate cancer has gone up because we're living longer, but
Yeah.
but all the cancer rates have gone down. It's kind of amazing. Well,
And the same guy that we owe our thanks to for dating methods using lead, also led getting lead out of paint and pipes and everything as well. So,
and gas, it was in the gas. I come from the generation when they used to give us mercury to play with when we were kids, to rub it on pennies to turn them silver.
I was working as a gas jockey through that time where they got rid of leaded gas, and everybody was coming in saying, "My car doesn't run right." It's like, it's got nothing to do with that. Leaded gas goes back to when there were still soft valves. Okay. We've had hardened valves in engines for a long time. It is not affecting how your car runs to not have the lead in there. It was an old leftover, and they phased it out. There was no need for it anymore. They basically added it in there so your engine would get gummed up. And gumming it up would seal it up.
It was a big feature. We're going to put lead in your gas. I'm going to put mercury in your bananas. It's a feature. Got to have some of that.
Yeah, and I remember the days too when everybody was cutting off their converters because, this and that on this thing on my car, and they were cutting them off. And why? Because you want another little bit of horsepower because you think you're a race car driving around on the civilian roads. If you want to run open headers and all that kind of stuff, whatever the rules are in racing, go to a racetrack. You don't need another little bit of horsepower driving around the city streets. You just don't. It's so silly.
So I think.
Remember the little fans? Remember the little fans you put on your air cleaner? We're supposed to give you a turbo boost or something without understanding that's not how it works.
Right. So there's these points, right? Like these, we have the pandemic and we have climate change and we have, what are the other ones? Gay people and LGBTQ and all that shit. And there's all these points, right? And if you go to one of these fucking Baptist churches or conservative fundamentalist churches, and they start talking, they'll hit all of these points, every single one of them. Why are they always the same points? Like if you run into a person and they're fundamentally religious, you can count on them being, with the climate change, with the pandemic stuff, with just all these talking points, right? And it's got to be coming from this cult at the top. There's some sort of a power structure to that cult at the top. And I'm trying to figure out what that is. It could be, certain media companies like Fox News and whatever, but it's always the same shit, and they always believe the same stuff. And you can throw facts at these assholes all day long, and you won't change one of those talking points for them. And What is that? What is it? And for us, what is it? It's like, okay, so we have our, our platform, right? So they could say the same thing about us, that we have this liberal sort of thing, right? But there's the thing that binds it for me at the bottom of all of this liberal talk is compassion, privacy. I think people should be left the fuck alone, manage their own bodies, manage their own sex lives, do what they want in the bedroom. I don't give a fuck who you marry, that sort of thing. So these are the things that bind liberals, I think. But then they could also say that we have, this cult at the top, right? So I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, Sam points out lead was used in dinner plates and utensils. Yeah,
oh yeah,
it was lead crystal too. People would decant in it, and then they realized you probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, they would serve wine in lead and till they killed people. But I don't know. And then, I mean, if I'm wrong about, like, okay, what the fuck am I wrong about? Okay, I think we had to leave gay people the fuck alone, and we had to leave trans people the fuck alone. We should basically treat them like any other human being, and see to it that they have the rights of any other human being. And so is that a talking point that I should be talked out of, right? I mean, for our liberal platform, right? If we're all following cult leaders, who are the liberal cult leaders? I don't know. Maybe we are.
You are.
We are.
We all came here to bow down and absorb the speediness.
Answers and atheism, man. Fucking running the whole show here. I don't know. So I'm always looking at my ideas and stuff, and I'm trying to keep a fucking open mind about this Trump economy thing too. But I don't see him doing anything that sounds sensible at all. I just, my friend tells me, just wait until you see it's going to get better. It's like, what the fuck? I'm not sure if I need it to get better. I don't know. Some people do, but I don't. I'm not sure. I don't know. Oh, fuck me.
I fail to, but again, though, you can't argue facts. I fail to see what's better or what was better under Trump. So
nothing that I could tell was better. I don't know.
I went down the list of his platform, all the things that he promised, and it was a big goose egg. So anything he did do wasn't in his platform, so to speak.
Yes, some of the shit he did was like he wanted to ban TikTok, and now he wants to protect TikTok. Like he's totally reversed on some of the shit. Nothing makes any sense. This tariff bullshit scares the shit out of me, and it's scaring the shit out of a lot of companies. It's like, what the hell's going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. Don't leave gay and trans people. Say, leave them alone. You've given away the entire queer agenda. What the hell? Yeah. Shit. Anyway.
Yeah, there's got to be an agenda. I keep hearing about it all the time.
Yeah.
That's their agenda. And it's like, oh, shut up.
And I got this friend. He says, I know of 2 trans people who basically regret what they did. They transitioned or took puberty blockers or did surgery or something when they were teenagers. And then I asked them, okay, who are these? Why do you know 2 of them? When I looked up the statistics on it, it was like 0.02% or something.
They know both of them.
Yeah, and he knows both of them, right?
He knows both of them, right?
How the hell? And then it turns out, it was the former roommate of my girlfriend's mother.
Yeah.
Basically, and it's like, whoa, okay, that's real solid evidence.
Well, yeah, the millions of kids on whatever it is, the puberty blocker, the hormone, whatever ones they were discussing. And yeah, I looked it up, and it was 400 over a span of years.
Yeah.
It's not millions. It's 400. It's many. Like, so that's the thing that when they name the citation, when they say go to whatever it is, I actually do it. Okay. And it's while they're talking, I'm opening another window and I'm typing it in, and it's like, that's not what it says. Like you point out, that's not what the numbers are. They don't care.
Look at look at the stats, and it's like, God, we're all these trans people. So like there's millions. And then we had an unfortunate 18-year-old committed suicide. I said the S word. We'll get banned. We'll get demonetized. Anyway, he did so 6 months after transitioning, and he threw that at me. It's like, that's why he killed himself. No, there were problems going way back with that kid and the way he was raised. That basically it wasn't that's not the whole fucking story. And we know of one person, right? You know, and like, I don't know. I've got,
I lost a few,
one,
I lost a few friends in my youth, that had problems, and, being gay or trans wasn't one of them. They had a lot of other issues. So yeah, trying to point, that's the thing though. They want to point out, oh, here's one gay person that did something bad. Well,
yeah.
Duh. You know, nobody says being gay means you didn't do something stupid.
Yep.
But to try to set it up, like you said, with made up numbers, that's just fear tactics. It's dishonest. And again, the biggest thing I'm disappointed in, and I've repeated it over and over, and I've accused the different ones that I've covered in my videos of being lazy. I mean, you're just being lazy. Like I said, you can ask your phone, you can type it into your phone, in your hand. You know, you can look these things up. And when people are refusing to do that, you've got a bigger problem. You know, it has to be, you know, we have to go back to education. I mean, I love the internet. I love to be able to look things up. I think that's the greatest thing ever. And I love to be able to almost in real time fact check somebody.
I always do that.
Why don't people think that's a great thing, right? There's this weird disconnect going on. You don't have to have an argument, right? It is, you know, is it red or blue? I don't know. Let's ask. You look it up. It's red. Okay. Yeah. And you know, there's no argument. There's the answer, right? You can look it up. Why won't people look it up? Why won't they? And if they do, why keep pushing nonsense when you know it's nonsense? Again, just to own the libs or something. Oh, okay. You own the libs, and yeah, your house is being washed away and insurance isn't going to cover you anymore. And wow, you know, you sure own the libs, right? It is frustrating. I understand everybody's frustration. I try not to talk about politics because talk about getting ugly. If you go anywhere and try and talk politics, it gets really ugly really fast. There's very little discussion about anything. You're just a libtard or Republic crap or whatever the nicknames are, right? It's just a bunch of name calling, and nobody, like you said, nobody cares. You want to throw economic numbers and all this stuff. Nobody cares because that's not fun. It's not fun in the little game. And I'm not trying to trivialize by calling it a game. I'm very serious about it when I say it, that it's a disgusting game.
I don't know. Anyway, so
well, then you got to wonder, Mike. I mean, for how many decades? And I've been saying it, and we're watching these slime balls like Ken Ham and stuff. What are they doing? They're pushing this stuff in schools.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a real tragic. Most of those kids that go to regular colleges will, like, they're diving away from the church at record numbers. But still, this, you know, indoctrination of youth, it's bad. And it takes some of them until they're 40, 50 years old before they ask themselves, so wait a minute, what? Okay, so there was a big boat and we had dinosaurs on it, and wait a minute. and the fountains of the deep erupted and broke open the earth, and the continents whipped off at 50 miles an hour. It's like, and the boat still survive. Wait.
And because you believed in that magic zoo boat, you also didn't, you know, get a poke in your arm, and now you have something or had something, and now it's debilitating, and then it really hits you, right? That it's a little bit too late now, you know?
Yeah.
And look where we're at. It's a little bit too late now. How many years we've been talking about how our education is failing. Other countries are way ahead of us in education, and little has been done.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think if anything, it's just getting worse every year, right? We fall farther down the list.
Yep. What happened to Scott? Scott? What the fuck's wrong with you, Scott? You know Taki.
Yeah, for years.
Huh?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You know Taki bunch.
You asked me what the fuck's wrong with me, and I said I've been wondering that for years.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I've been wondering it since I met you.
Do you have any insight? Do you have any answers?
Answers in atheism?
Yeah. Do you have any answers there about what the fuck's wrong with me?
Oh, we'll talk privately, Scott.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, we're here for the answers. We gotta figure this out. I mean, and of course, empowerment of everybody always goes back to education. So of course, and with our, I have to blame things on the education system, and then the social media thing. Yeah, it's become a disgusting game of
and anytime
and it's over bad candidates. And I'm not trying to talk anybody about Kamala or Biden or anybody else like that. I'm just saying, where are the inspiring candidates? Oh, we'll just run Hillary. Oh well,
yeah.
Trump's mad he lost. We'll just run him again, right? It's just where are the inspiring candidates? We've had low likabilities on candidates when there used to be high likability. That used to be a factor in the election, and it's not now. People not liking people that they're voting for. It's a big personally, I think after the election, everybody at the DNC should have been fired.
Yep.
Well, I think everybody
they blew it.
Fire the DNC and just find a different party to support, one that's a little more progressive or something.
But if they're not just going to basically, fire everybody that's, obviously, not everybody sitting at a desk, but all the people that make these decisions, if they're not going to fire them, then I don't see what's going to change, because they don't. The last few elections, they've just seemed, like I said, lazy, and just counting on people to make these informed decisions for themselves.
Shit. The interesting thing is Kamala said that she had a Glock. She has a permit to carry and she has her own weapon. Mm-hmm. And then I heard all over from the Republicans that she's going to take your guns away. She's going to take. Yeah. She has one herself. But that little bit of news was hardly even talked about, right? That she's one of these.
Well, Waltz goes hunting.
Yeah, and the people we've been running, basically Democrats, are kind of middle of the road. We're not way the fuck over there like Trump is. It's just like I don't know. Sure.
Well, that's one of the other things they were talking about, that everybody kind of goes to the center for an election, right? Because you're trying to win some people from the other side.
Yeah.
But this time around, there was no going to the center from Trump. He went far right, and then then they should have gone far left and just thrown things out there to pull people back. Every little thing that everybody brings up, including the primary thing, where if they were going to make the decision, they should have made it before the primary and let people pick the candidate, right? There was a lot of grumbling about just throwing Kamala out there. Nothing against her, and she stood up, she took the challenge, and kudos to her and everything. But yeah, there's a problem there where so many little things and it showed. People didn't turn out as much as they did last time, and in a close election like this, it seems again like what they did with Hillary, that we got no worries, Trump is an idiot, and nope, right. That didn't work, and it didn't work again.
Yeah. I really like Kamala Harris after I started listening to her, though. I was just really pumped about her. I didn't know anything about her until she started running, right. And then the more she talked, the more I liked her. And she was,
and if she would have been running for how many more months, right?
She was rational.
Yeah.
She used to say like really normal, sane things when she answered questions. Like I'm just like, what the fuck? You know, where do you find this woman? You know, it's like, holy shit. So we couldn't have run a better person. Unfortunately, we underestimated how much sexist, racist bullshit is still out there in our country. I mean, people that we know, people that we rub shoulders with at the grocery store are still fucking raging racist assholes. They're responding to this whole immigration thing. They're going to dilute our blood, you know.
There's just this thing that, people trust the old white guy for some reason. You know, it's just
I am so happy about immigrants coming in and diluting our fucking blood because it's too strong. We need to fucking dilute it, man. We need to calm this shit down. We need to stop this stuff. Like, fuck, you know. Come on.
You know, for all of us sitting around, and you know, there's a lot of opinions and a lot of, you know, and I understand everybody's frustrations. I understand why everybody's disappointed. I understand all those things. But the people in the know are the people at the DNC. I mean, that's why they have those jobs, right? And they blew it. That's bottom line. They blew it. So we'll see if you know, metaphorical heads don't roll. I mean, you know, then you're just gonna, you know, the same thing in 2 years. Which again, you got the big thing will come up in 2 years. So the midterms.
Well, 2 years will probably reverse quite a bit as far as the House and the Senate goes. I got to feel that usually what happens when we see the reality of what the fuck this is.
There's the problem, the usually thing. And if they're going to count on, usually the House flips. So we're just going to sit back and we're just going to hope that just like before the House, that it flips. And it's, no, that's what they've been doing. And ultimately they have to take the blame. They have to take the blame.
This purple rhymes with orange people keep saying good things.
If they would have got the same turnout as last time, they didn't have to outperform last time because the vote count was down. If they would have done exactly what they did the last time, so they slipped behind the last time. So they blew it. They blew it. They couldn't get the same people that they had the last time to go vote.
Yeah, that really surprised me.
This isn't something new. This is something that they should have had, and they lost it. So I you can pick on, the voters and groups of voters and everything, but elections have gone Democratic too when they did what they were supposed to do, right? So who do you blame? You blame the DNC.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway. So on Saturday night, we should talk about morality. We should talk about anything but politics.
Yeah, no politics, no religion on Saturday. Bring any topic you want. You want to talk about your garden? You want to talk about your hobbies? NASA just launched another probe to one of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn or one of them out there.
Yeah, we're going to find out whether or not we have life. I think I have to live for what? It's going to be 2020. It's going to be 2032, I think, before they send it back. How fucking old am I going to be? I'm going to be like 8 years old. I'll be like 81. Holy shit. I really want to live long enough to see some of that shit come back, but I don't know if I want to live long enough to see another election. I don't know. The manosphere. Where's the atmosphere and the manosphere? Yeah,
like I said, we can talk about other topics too. I was just, trying to be looking for the small channels and stuff as kind of a thing to do. But the topics, like I said before, you can find big names that are covering topics, and we can cover the smaller channels that are covering the same topics.
People get bored if I talk about naturalism and morality and meaning, maybe. We can talk about psychedelics. I like psychedelics.
I can talk about my pond for, an hour easy.
I can talk about mushrooms for a long time.
Scott can pull out his horn and, we do other things. A lot of the stuff.
I was thinking more in terms of the 35,000-year-old saber-toothed cub that was discovered in Siberia.
Yeah.
It's a cute kitty.
Orange toddler in chief. I like it. So this has got to be the quote of the day here. Let's see.
And I think we all should have a few moments where we can not talk about those things, because I think everybody needs a break. Not that I'm saying things don't have to be done or anything like that. Of course, everything needs to be done, but even when somebody's hyperventilating, what do you get them to do? Stop, calm down, breathe deeply, right? Breathe deeply, okay?
Breathe in a paper bag.
Yep. Get calm down, reset, and go forward. And yeah, the thing is, you have to get involved in these in changing things through how things are done with either the DNC or your local affiliates, and pressure has to be put on to change. Just riding along isn't working, and I have to blame them, because a lot of people, salt of the earth folks, nothing against them, but they aren't going to do the hardcore research. They're just not. And they need something that they can understand that's not too long and complicated. And that's always been the trick. And I just didn't, yes, they were trying to go off hope and change from Obama and everything. But there wasn't enough time to get a catchphrase going. There wasn't enough time to get the talking points going. And there wasn't enough time for her to separate herself as a candidate. And I think they did her a disservice by that too, because here you got a couple of weeks, go run for president, right? So if they aren't going to do anything, then you're the same thing. You're just accepting what's going to happen the next time.
Saber-toothed kitten. I got one of those named Snack. Saber-toothed kitten. He clawed me the other day, and I fucking bled like you wouldn't believe, because I think I take aspirin every day. I mean, I thought I was going to bleed to death. He got me really deep. It was amazing.
And we should talk about green stuff as well. I mean, what's the pros and cons, and what direction should we be going in? And, should we be giving money to these companies to find a bigger more powerful battery, longer storage? I think the oil companies have plenty of money, and why we are giving them subsidies instead of somebody to build a better battery. Explain that to me, right? Why is Elon getting subsidies? The richest man in the world. Why is he getting subsidies, right?
Yeah.
Give it to these companies to build us a better battery. That's what we need. We need something totally new, something that's kicking, that'll last, that isn't going to hurt the environment, that isn't expensive. It can be done. Let's fund it. But no, we're giving billions to these companies and these people for what? That one really bothers me. You know, that this money could be going for something that would do everybody some good. And instead it's just going to people that aren't giving anything back or even paying taxes, you know, to kick anything back in the system. They're the ones getting all the money.
Speed doesn't work. What is she talking about?
Which is another thing I have a problem with. Is every time somebody says, oh, they're giving so-and-so all this money, right? Somebody got $1 million to study a bug or something, right? And the conservatives, there it is on Sean Hannity or whatever. Oh, look, the government wasting money. They gave somebody $1 million to study a bug, you know. Well, the government sets aside money, you know, to give to people to do research, and you apply, you get the grant, you get the money, right? But it's nothing. It's nothing. Let's give more money. Yeah.
Pure research.
Let's get some more money out there instead of giving it to Elon. Why are we giving money to Elon? Why?
Ooh, Geo Sam has a saber-toothed tiger skull sitting on his desk. I would love one of those. Ooh. I think Gutsit Gibbons showed her saber-toothed tiger skull, and apparently she was embarrassed about it because there's something about it that wasn't right or something. I don't know. She did a thing the other day.
The Bree said, "Scotty, blow your horn. We want to hear Scott play his horn on Saturday one of these days. So maybe get your lips pursed there, Scott." And, we got bzz, bzz, bzz.
Oh, let's see. How about?
Oh, by the way, I was just going to say, not going to happen.
How about what?
Oh, I said it's not going to happen with the horn.
Oh,
I haven't played in so long. I'm probably like a 6th grade beginning band student by now.
That's why the pressure's on. You need to get it out and practice. Yeah, Purple, that's the thing. The batteries are bad, you know. Let's get a new battery, you know. It's just, yeah. I'm so disappointed when all these things that can be done, you know, and with the, you know, the same enthusiasm like we did with the space race, right? We're going to do it, right? We're going to go to the moon. We're going to do it. Okay, well, let's build a better battery. We're going to do it. We're going to lead the world. We're going to build a better battery. Sounds great. Why would anybody be against that, right? And oh, by the way, we're going to give companies that are working on it the money that we're giving Elon, the richest man in the world, right? Yeah. So I think it's a win-win. Of course, again, maybe it makes too much sense to people to give somebody money to make a better battery and not give it to Elon, because that doesn't seem to be our reality lately.
So $8 per kilogram of battery material is what it costs to recycle lithium battery, $1 to $8. So why don't we find more efficient methods of recycling? Like I haul out like 2 gigantic bins every 2 weeks of recycling, and I wonder, are they really recycling? Because they're digging up, like, okay, Trump wants to dig up the Boundary Waters canoe area in Minnesota. He wants to pull that shit again. There's this beautiful river basin up there that they want to tear up and look for nickel. And basically, we're throwing away all this shit, right? And okay, if lithium batteries cost a lot to recycle, that is a technological problem that we can easily solve to make it less expensive. And these are the things that we need to be throwing our money into. I think we are, like, there is a green economy popping up that's contributing to our economy, and it's getting bigger all the time. You see windmills popping up everywhere, fucking killing whales, you know. Like the windmills in Iowa, there's millions of them, and there's a lot of dead whales under those windmills. I don't know if you noticed that.
I've got the university down the street, and they've expanded to a lot of areas. They built housing for the students and everything, and In a bunch of the areas, the little open areas, there's solar panels everywhere. So
Yeah.
it is showing up.
If you drive down 35 between here and Des Moines, Iowa, there's just field after field of windmills out there. And you can't tell me that they put those up just because they want to save the environment. They are economical. And if you go to northern Minnesota to where the taconite mines are and look at the hills, there's windmills just everywhere out there. They're building them because they return on the investment. And we can do more of that. I mean, if you're making money on 10 windmills, you can make 100 times as much on 1,000 windmills, right? Let's do it. The fuck?
And
Who cares?
Quit giving the money to the oil companies and Elon and give it to them.
Yeah, but then we
it seems a no-brainer.
Libtards,
Well, this isn't money that's already given. We're throwing it away, giving it to them. And that's why he doesn't care when he blows up rockets all the time. It's not his money, kaboom. Oh, well. What do you mean, oh, well? We stopped blowing up rockets a long time ago, right? Why are yours blowing up?
Yeah.
Not that accidents don't happen, but they're not like they used to be in the early space program. And he's like back into the 50s and 60s. It's like, and that's all tax dollars. Every time it blows up.
Yep. Oh, Scott came back just in time to end it. I think I want to shoot her in the head. Oh no, I'm bouncing Scott in and out. Scott, you got any final words?
Well,
huh? Final.
I'm probably going to die sooner than most everybody watching this, so that's probably good news.
Okay.
What with our MAGA future coming up on us.
My final word is ask your doctor if fuck it all is right for you.
That's right.
Fuckatol, a bottle of Fuckatol, I think would be nice. Yeah. Okay, Dave, what's up? Saturday night at the Atheist again?
Saturday night, 5:00 Eastern, and we're going to take a break from all this. And for just a few hours, no religion, no politics. We're going to see if we can do it. We're going to see if we can actually hold a discussion about anything else.
Be there or be a parallelogram.
Yeah, yep. Bring any topics you want to talk about that don't include any of those two things, and that's what we're going to talk about.
Okay, I'm going to shoot her in the head. So, ready?
Go.